So I want to go a little bit further into the edit poly concept here and just build a quick object. Again, I'll start with the same box. I'm not too worried about the scale. I'm going to use keyboard entry on this one. What I'm going to do is just do the same thing, 90 by 90 by 90. Hit create, and I'll just build the box right there for us. Now, I want to build something that's a little bit more specific. So again, hit J to undo the tabs with the bounding box, F4 to get the wireframe, and a dog to bark to protect the house. Okay, so I'm going to build this in kind of a funky way, but it'll still prove the point. So let's go ahead and edit poly modifier. Column basic. These are my buttons. These are not going to be found in the big default. We'll get into customizing the software later. So we're going to build a chair just so that it's kind of obvious at the start. Let's just, oopsie. Make sure I got everything selected. Alt W to minimize, maximize viewport. Let's hit Alt W to make this one room view bigger. Now, if I go here and select these two faces here and extrude them, it's going to create some geometry for me. Let's go ahead and do the ring real quick. So what I want to do is create geometry to build my legs. And so one way I can do this, if I go in here, right click and go into extrude, and we talked about in the last video, if I go ahead and up this up a little bit, change this one into local normals. Now I've got some geometry here, and what this will allow me to do, I hit OK, I can kind of have some fun with this, make kind of a futuristic chair. Let's do extrude this way and extrude on these. And I can just grab those now. Here's the perfect reason why I love having orthogonal views. If I need to make sure that the chair legs are down on the X or on the ground plane, that's how I can make sure. Move this up. And so you've got this kind of interesting basic chair. Not very exciting, not very chair-like. I mean, it's the essence of chair to a T. So I want to do something a little different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the trash can and get rid of that modifier and just reapply a new one. Just basically start over. I did that. I got rid of the modifier by clicking on the actual trash can right here. Just by the way, if I click on this, that gets rid of whatever modifiers up top. I'm going to hit Control Z to undo that because I want to actually have that one. We're going to start the same way. We're going to move this up, and this will be where our butt sits on the chair. Now what I want to do, instead of extruding all four sides, I'm going to extrude just two sides. Do a little bit. I want to go ahead and just do something like, let's go ahead and make it 8. And then now I'm going to go here. I'm going to, hit 8. I'm going to hit checkbox to say, okay. Now I'm going to grab this one. I'm going to hit left click to select, and then I'm holding Control to add to my selection. And I'm going to go ahead and hit extrude again. It's going to carry the same extrusion that was on the last one. So what I've left with now are some polygons that are square, and this will allow me to extrude again. I'm just going to hit extrude. It's going to give us the exact same value. I'm just going to hit OK. So at this point, I'm going to just move it down in the Z axis. So now I've got 4 legs. All right, so we've got, if I want to take this to make it a chair, I can just hit extrude again. I'll hit OK, and I'll just move it up. Okay, so now we've got a dining room chair. It's not bad. I mean, if I actually undo this a couple times, I actually got a side table. So that's really quickly how we can create some simple shapes. And what we can do from here is add some more geometry to kind of add some more detail. So if I just extrude again and then extrude again, now I've got some geometry detail that I can actually put some shape and form into. I'm going to go to the vertex mode real quick, and I'm going to grab these, and I'm going to use the rotate tool, which is E on the keyboard. Just rotate it a little bit and position it where I want. And now I've got a little bit more of a relaxed back on my chair. Got some shape on it. And so this is what we can do with the edit poly very quickly. And And from here, I can build a dining set and go on from other pieces. This is something I want you to work on in terms of what's next for the next object. Just kind of play around with this specific idea. We'll get into more details as we start discovering this tool more. But again, we're just looking at the extrude tool and moving some vertices on this particular section. All right, there's a chair.